say, very distinguished colleagues and friends on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Frankly speaking, after the preceding illum by Ajit Bajaj, I think I feel that I am speechless. If I think that I have something to say, that will be optimism. But we are waiting also to, lots have been said about the opportunities. And Sri Arvindji had written a beautiful summing up all the possibilities and opportunities and what needs to be done. And we are looking forward to him to speak about what is being done and what is the future. So I don't like to really speak much. What I would do is that I am chairing the next session on investment opportunities that we are having. And it is a very important subject. And this afternoon only, the Minister of Tourism, people, industrialists and others, and also to explore the subject and to, as a prelude to the Global Investors Summit that we are going to have. Experts in the sessions that will follow perhaps will come up with good ideas, and so we'll be happy to share them with the government. I will just share a few thoughts on the issue of the investment part. Is that we have a lot of, India's opportunities, India's potential, everything is well known. Now, how do you go about implementing things that will make it possible for us to achieve what we are trying to achieve? Very briefly, I will not even elaborate on these statements, I will just mention the points. And first, I think, is that so far as investment is concerned, we have to identify what are the broad areas where we need investment, and then go into micro segments and prepare perhaps project and program ideas. For example, we'll need accommodation, we'll need investment in cruises perhaps, we'll need investment in MICE opportunities, civil aviation has been mentioned, adventure and leisure activities, things like Disney World and all. The ideas have to be translated into the projects, and how we first identify where are those investment opportunities. Secondly, we need to have a comprehensive look at the ease of doing business and the incentives that are available. Jyotiji had mentioned some of the incentives government have provided, but $1 trillion tourism economy that we are expecting, and 100 million tourists to come to India. For example, I am giving an illustration. For example, will require tremendous expansion of accommodation. Otherwise, our objectives will be falling by the wayside. The industry, for example, has been saying that let us get some incentives by way of infrastructure status or industry status for the tourism sector. And the Ministry of Tourism has been fully supportive. And that will make a difference. And these are the areas where attention is needed now to look at in the tourism sector, what are the ways of doing business opportunities that needs to be attended to if we really need all the investment that we are looking for. But that takes me to the next point, that while Ministry of Tourism has been supportive, has ideas, plans, and the policies, most of the things that will make investment possible are outside the Ministry of Tourism. And therefore, what I was enthused by was the ministry's idea, and that was expressed by the finance minister and the prime minister subsequently, is the idea of convergence at the various levels. We have talked about convergence between the ministries, between the government and the private sector, between the government in the different states and all. Now, the convergence with the ministries will be a very key factor, and how it comes about, Arvindji perhaps will tell us also, will shape how we are going to get investment and all. Fourth, I would like to say, though we are looking at a global investment summit and a global investment, perhaps we have to be aware that foreign investments have a cost. On the other hand, at this moment, Atmanirbhar has been our pride. So we have to identify where do we want foreign investment and where do you want our own expertise and capabilities to be fully explored and given expression. So that picture has to be set very clearly and properly. Next, I would say is that a proper information. Perhaps any investor would like to have not only all the facilities available, but the information. Information is a great problem for most of the people who are looking for investing something. We talk about single window, but single window, even if it is not available, single information platform. And if we can have a portal sharing the real-time information on schemes and programs, it will be immensely helpful. I would also like to say that the idea of the G20 has spread to different parts of the country. It has been brought across, it has been mentioned that to the length and breadth of the country. Investment opportunities, locations will be very important. It need not be concentrated only in the metro cities or some places around it. So it will have to be spread to the states. And there will be a great need for harmonization of the activities of the states and their initiatives. It may quite often happen that the states are competing with each other, which is a very good idea to compete, but the competition has to be on a harmonized nature. And that is something Government of India will have to look into. I am aware that much of what I have said must have already been happening, and these are only illustrations. So much more needs to be done, and perhaps Arvind Singh would tell us also that they are already on way, but they all bear reputation. I am sure that the seminar also will come up with ideas we will share with the government. As Mr. Arvind Singh has written, G20 opportunities are not a one-time opportunity. It is an investment in the prosperity for the future, linking the emerging economic strength of India and the confidence of India with a group of people, a group of nations which have 85% of the global GDP and 75% of the global trade. And PM has incidentally and very rightly added the global south to this G20 group, which has expanded the entire horizon of the opportunities, and that has to be taken care of as a Boshideva Katibakam. For tourism, I think this is an incredible, I have written somewhere that this is an incredible time. Incredible because I have called it the best of time and the worst of time. Out of the ashes, tourism has bounced back, and we have the best of time today. But we have tremendous problems also to face, and this perhaps is, as I have said, that this perhaps is a tipping point for tourism, because never before had happened that the finance minister and the prime minister has taken the lead. Tourism will happen if the lead comes from the top, and there it is going on a mission mode, and all the elements have been very properly and clearly identified. We need now to go into implementation of those ideas. Arvind Singh has given a lead. Unfortunately, we will be missing you, Mr. Arvind Singh, but hope you will be around somewhere to see that many of these things can continue. All best of wishes to you. It is incredible, really, that G20, which people like us did not know so much about, has suddenly become the lexicon of the common people of India. I think the government perhaps need to be complimented on making this wide sweep that has made the G20 a part of the future hopes and aspirations of this country, and rightly that has to be focused. And I feel privileged to say that FAST and the industry, everyone will be solidly behind and with the government in this journey. And it's a very interesting journey that we have before us. So that from that point of view, this seminar we look upon this seminar as something which is very, very important, because it can give ideas and suggestions which can help in that journey forward. It's a great pleasure to have all of you distinguished players, stakeholders, and policymakers around here. Thank you very much for your presence, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words and also I took more than little 5 minutes, I suppose.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that insightful address.